We're going to get started here now. I don't know what happened to Jordan, but that's fine. It'll be the three of us. Um, first of all, I would like to welcome Sean. He's playing Fire Dragon. Sean, did you want to describe your character to the guys?
In my notes, this is a character that I rolled up from the Conan character rolling module online. He's played in, I think it's 2 scenarios with you, Jolly?
3, I thought, but
3? One was in a village. And what were the others? Try to remember now. It's been a while.
it was the dungeon. So maybe it was 2, yeah.
Yeah, we did one in a dungeon, yeah, and one in a village. I'm a Sumerian warrior, and he's a veteran. His archetype is a bloody right hand, and his nature is wrathful. He's educated on the battlefield, and his war story is he survived a raid on his village. And I had to write up a description, so he's flint and grim, however trustworthy and resourceful and cunning. His broad shoulders turn to reveal a steady gaze of a scarred man. And I have a horse.
You're so lucky.
And we have Will, who's playing Aractus, who is a new character. So I will let Will describe his character.
Well, Aractus is relatively tall, lean, clean-shaven, kind of curly, short black hair. Imagine any typical French knight from any 1950s or 60s medieval movie like Ivanhoe or whatever. He looks exactly like what he is, which is an snob. He's well dressed. His equipment looks relatively new and quality. He has this habit of kind of tilting his head up a little bit and looking down his nose at just about everybody.
Oh, that's a great way to start off. New friends. All right. So in the last adventure, this is really a continuation of the game from last week. So in the last adventure, the guys started off in the process of trying to break free one of their Ophirian friends, a noble who was apparently held captive in the dungeons, in the royal dungeons in Cordova. And when they rescued him, he told them that it was because he was trying to he was looking for some objects, and they were trying to stop him from collecting the objects. So he asked the guys to help them collect it from the to get the objects, right? These jewels, these gems. So the characters in that adventure decided to go to the ship because it was being picked up or dropped off by a group of pirates in the docks. And when they got there, a battle ensued. Their friend, the Ephirian noble, who was in the process, who they thought was their friend, actually got a hold of the jewels and ran, and left everyone else kind of holding the bag, the empty bag. And they got into a big fight, and one of the characters, named Septimus, was laid low by about 35 pirates. Uh, so the Epherian noble, he managed to escape into the city, and Gaius and the other character Ruju um, managed to collect the corpse of the slain soldier, and Gaius went and set the pirate ship on fire to cause a distraction to allow them to get away. So I am going to say that this adventure takes place within just a short time later, possibly an hour or more, and everyone is kind of scattered into the city because they were being chased. And so no one knows what happened to Ruju, who was actually carrying Septimus's body. But Gaius, you managed to get yourself inside of a... you've managed to hide in a tavern. If that's not cliche, I don't know what is. But you find yourself in a tavern, kind of
What
hiding.
better place for a practitioner of Mitra?
Yes, amongst the sinners.
Yes.
And in this tavern, you see across the room the two other characters, Aractus and Warren. So for you two guys, for Aractus and for Warren, you guys see this elderly gentleman covered in cuts and scrapes and kind of bloody, all kind of rushing in through the doorway. And the whole point of this is, do you let the Epherian noble get away with the jewels, or do you try to bring him to justice? That's going to be entirely up to Gaius. What happens at this point?
Oh man!
Told you.
Ha ha! So I head towards the two capable gentlemen, they're capable looking at least. So, do you guys like money?
I've finished my pint of ale and set my pint on a table and smile in a very cunning way and say, we need money to live.
And Aractus would probably turn his head towards you, look you up and down, and say, I have plenty of money. Money is not my... And I go back to sipping on my pint.
So speak further. And what kind of money are you talking about?
So Gaius tells you a tale of woe and of his need for bloody revenge for his dead friend, who's a patriot of wherever the hell he's from, a patriot of Bori.
Gunderland.
Of Gunderland, that's right. So a patriot of Aquilonian Empire. And I impress upon you the ability to obtain fabulous wealth, combined with the easy revenge on a fat man.
And what sort of guarantee do we have that this is possible?
Would a priest of Mitra lie to you?
Priests.
Aractus kind of perks up a little bit and looks at you again and says, tell me a bit about this fat man.
His name is Cordova, and we rescued him from his unjust imprisonment and pending execution, torture. And we were helping him with a task, and he left us to suffer our fate on a burning ship in the docks. probably seen the flames.
which you all have. And the bells have been ringing, and the city guard is all stirred up. So it's quite a bit of commotion coming from the docks.
Ractus stands up and says, "My sword is yours."
Great.
Where will we find this heathen?
I have no idea.
All right, Charlie, have I found my my friend that's been nearby, according to the rumor?
Your friend, he has the description. No, you haven't. You've last heard that he was in the city, in the chance of actually helping a friend from prison. So it sounds kind of coincidental. Sorry, that it could have been Septimus, based on the descriptions.
Oh, Septimus could have been my friend, long friend.
Yep.
I tell the story of the mighty Septimus and how he fell after slaying 60 bandits.
And it would make a lot of sense because Gunderlin is Samaritan, so
Okay.
being a mercenary, there are probably plenty of opportunities for our his paths to cross. I keep talking about him in the present tense, past tense.
Okay. Well, I sweep my hooded cloak back and stand to join the look, the search.
Okay. So you're there in the tavern, outside the streets. You know that there's a lot of commotion taking place, and the city guard seems to be riled up pretty good. You guys have no idea where Ruju is right now. He's gone completely missing, separated from the group. But you do know that, well, Gaius knows that in where this noble was actually living, in the city, and he is in one of the districts closer to the center of the city, in a more of a richer place, well-to-do nobles, well-to-do people, and you know that that's where his lodgings was.
Well, I disclosed this information and proposed that we head that way.
All right. So you guys all going to take off and go for it?
Yep. I pick up my two-handed sword and follow him to the door.
Yep, and I would go outside and on a rather impressive-looking black staff.
Okay, so out in the city, of the streets of Cordava, you see the hustle and bustle of the city. It looks kind of, Gothic in the sense of the building structures, but everything seems kind of like poorly made, run down. With all the corruption that's within the city and in the country itself, the infrastructure is poor and kind of weak. But you see a lot of people running, through the streets. And you see lots of guards in the area, and they seem to be, posted up on certain corners, and there seems to be lots of patrols and stuff. And to get to where you need to go, now obviously you can take the streets, or maybe you could find another way. But if you walk in the streets, there's a high potential of possibly being spotted.
All right. I pull my hood up and keep my weapons under my cloak, and suggest take a nearby alley to avoid the city guard.
I look for a suitable person of the right size and see if I can buy their cloak off of them to cover up my bloody armor.
Make a observation roll. Difficulty 1. Should be relatively easy. Okay, so you gain 1 momentum. If you want, it was going to cost you a gold, but for each point of momentum that you have, it can be free. Subtract it for 1 point of gold.
Okay, well, I try to get it for free then.
All right, so you managed to get a cloak to cover up your bloodied appearance.
Yeah, I give her a blessing in the name of Mitra.
All right, so you managed to have that. You see up ahead of you at one of the intersections a patrolling group of guards. And now I'll see if I can find you an image of these guards for you. Let's see. No, it looks like I don't have anything there handy right now. All right, so, but these guards, they have large shields, long spears. They have crested helmets with plumage on it, with the plumes on it, similar to the Argosian soldiers. But there's a patrol of 5 standing up at the intersection.
Are they blocking anybody's way?
They seem to be stopping people as they go by and asking questions and so forth.
All right.
I'll just keep riding straight on ahead then.
Walk, because I have no horse.
All right, so let me see.
So, Jolly, would my steed be stapled somewhere?
Yes, it will be. It's you could now if you want to take your horse and be walking your horse in the city streets, it's fine. There's lots of other horses and carts and stuff that are there.
Yeah, no, I'm fine to leave it stabled wherever's to as we're making way.
So let me.
Is it night or day?
It is almost noontime now.
Okay.
I just gotta find the right. There we go. I can do it this way. All right, so this, I'm going to make this guy a little bigger so you guys can see him. So there is a patrol that's sitting at the standing in the walkway there. So if you guys want to try and get past them without being noticed,
Oh, you brought Ryuji on, not me.
oh, I'm sorry.
I know, new character. It's...
There we go.
Well, sneaking's not really my style.
I kind of spur ahead and just say, "Follow me," and move into the center of town, not really acknowledging the guards, just trying to move straight through the crossing. I'm assuming we're going west to east.
Yes, that's the way you're going.
Yep.
So, Aractus, as you're walking past, they seem to, like, you're dressed well. They don't really seem to be paying much attention to you. But they do see a huge barbarian-looking figure, very scruffy looking, very powerfully built, kind of and a scarred face, kind of walking by, and they kind of off-putting.
Looks like a troublemaker.
Looks like a troublemaker. Like, what's he doing in our city? These Northmen, right? So the guards, they kind of walk over and they approach Fire Dragon as they're walking by. Hey, you there!
And I give a steely glare to the largest man. Whoever seems to be the leader.
Okay.
Whoever got the highest plumes. I'm going to steely glare him down.
All right, then. So that is going to be a... well, that's fair enough.
It's a bold move.
Go for broke.
So, let's see here. So, they are not... there's no... they can't make any reactions or anything like that. So, it's a difficulty 1. So, you get to choose if you want to roll more extra dice.
All right. And I'll roll 2 extra dice.
All right, so that's going to cost you
2 doom.
2 doom. So on your character sheet, Sean,
Yeah.
you're going to see where it says doom on the very first page up on the top.
Yeah.
I want you to double click on those, and that will cause it to go up.
Okay, it's at 2 now.
All right, I'm just going to do it one more time. Okay. So that gives me 2 doom. And now down in your modifier box, which is right below the chat window, see where it says 0 and a modifiers, picture of a shield and a sword?
Yeah.
Put in 2, the number 2 there.
Okay.
So now you are going to do a persuade roll.
Okay, let's see where it is.
So that's under your skills.
Oh, yeah. I got a 1. 1 and 1.
All right. So your target numbers are 7 and 1. Just to let you know.
7 and 1.
So you were successful.
Okay.
You didn't get any momentum, so I am going to get you to...
there is a complication.
There is a complication.
There always is with me.
So I'm going to get you to roll your Steely Glare roll now.
Okay.
So it does 1 point of resolve damage to these people. They kind of used to people like you, and listen here, Northmen. It obviously has no effect on them. They've been used to your type of people here before, and so they go to approach you. And first of all, I'm going to bank the doom. I'm going to take 2 doom. I'm going to bank it for later.
So can I do anything at this time?
Sure, if you want.
So I walk up beside the big brawny guy, and I yell at these guards in my harshest voice about, "Can't you see that this is a servant of my lord behind me upon the big horse?" And I do my stealing.
All right. Well, it's the same for you as well. So it's a difficulty 1. So you got a hit with 2 momentum to spend.
Nice. Nice. They're going to pass out from your stare.
So they're stunned. They're completely caught off guard, and you actually cause one of them to become kind of like so. Sorry, sir. We didn't, guys. Obviously, these are not the droids you're looking for.
Got very interested in his shoelaces.
Yeah, like no, he got very disconcerted, and guys, this is obviously not the people that we're looking for. We're just gonna back off. Like there's no need for this.
I tap Fire Dragon consolingly on his shoulder, which is probably above my head, and kind of motion like we're going to follow our Lord through this.
And I put my head down and bite my teeth hard and follow.
So
that's the only thing that I'm actually good at. Everything else is terrible.
So yeah, so you managed to wipe one of them out right off the get-go. So you did 7 points of damage total. They have, so it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the next one.
So does this look like a fight that we're able to avoid, or look like?
Oh, it very easily could have been.
Oh,
absolutely.
Okay.
So that's Gaius. Aractus, what would you like to do?
Do any of the guards look like they're about to draw steel?
No, they're kind of completely taken back. Like they're by the outburst that Gaius gave them. They are completely, caught off guard.
Okay, so I'll just kind of spur my mount on a little bit and say, "You two, quit dawdling. Let's go. We have places to be."
I act obsequious and follow.
And I push forward as well, completely ignoring these imbeciles with plumes.
So they are completely stunned, and that will give you enough time to walk off the map. I am not spending any doom to break that particular thing.
Oh, could have been a good fight.
So you're back on the streets again, and you're continuing walking into the district that the Aetherian noble, as oddly as it is, his name is actually Cordova, as opposed to Cordava, which is the name of the city. Complete coincidence, but Cordava's residence, it's in a kind of a gated area, kind of a gated community, but you know right where it's to, and eventually you come to it. You stroll through the streets enough, and you find, where's it to? And you see it, you know where the area is, and you finally get into the zone of where he was living. But now it's the gated zone. To get in there is closed and locked because of the alarm bells and the bells that are going off from the city streets.
Are there guards posted at the gates?
There are guards posted at the gates, yep.
So from, looking every bit as impressive as he is, Aractus will, in a loud and clear voice, tell the guard detail there, make way, we have business with Cordova the Noble.
Cordova. Yeah. He never left any message saying that you guys, that he's expecting people in today.
I like
And
to do.
I look down very slowly at whoever that was speaking and say, do I look like I need to be announced?
Make a persuade roll, difficulty 1. Okay, so you got 2 successes.
So
you got
one
both
moment.
of them in.
Wow, look at you. Big talker.
I wanted to be like you, man.
Well, I should be more balanced. That's what I would say.
Where is what I'm looking for? One second. So, you obviously convinced him. Well, sir, again, yeah, no, please come on in. Sorry, we didn't mean to. You're absolutely right. He's been having people coming and going here the last couple of days, actually. So I should have been so. Please don't report me.
My good man, have you seen Cordova coming or going recently?
He came through here probably just about an hour ago, but he seemed like he was in a rush.
Good. I would hate to think my trip was a waste of my time. Open the gates quickly, and thank you for your help.
So he obviously opens the gates, and he's probably in the chapel down the street there. That's where I saw him go. So if you, it's probably where you'll find them.
Is the chapel inside the gated area?
There is a chapel inside the gated area. Yep.
Very good. I look down at Gaius and say, looks like we're going into your territory. And again, I'll flip him a copper or something for his help and wait for them to open the gates.
No problem. So you managed to get in through the gates without too much issues, and you go in the direction of the chapel, and you're going through a relatively tight quarters, narrow alleyways, and you see a building with a strange embossed carving over the gateway, and it's up ahead of you. You haven't seen anything like it yourselves before, actually, and but this is this would be the chapel that he was reported of going into.
All right.
So it doesn't look like any known deity that.
Not that you're not a known one, no.
Okay, interesting.
I'm gonna use my observation just to see if I can notice anything going on or something out of the ordinary.
Make a difficulty 1 observation roll.
So adjust it to 1.
No. Depends on how many dice you want to roll.
Oh, okay.
So that only affects the number of dice that you will roll. So if you leave it How many dice do you want to roll above and beyond your 2?
I'll just roll just a regular observation roll.
All right, so go ahead and roll it. You notice that around the doorway and around the streets, there's people wearing very similar types of clothing. They all seem to be very similar to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of look like priestly garb, priestly robes. But you have never. And there seems to be several groups of these people in the alleyway or in the walkway in front of the doorway.
So they're like a cult or they're priesthood or something.
Yep.
So I have no idea who these people might be.
No. Now back to Fire Dragon. Your rumor point, and this is where it's going to come into play. Your rumor point has told you that in the last several months, a new cult has been starting to develop in the city.
Okay.
And this...
I have a gut feeling this is it.
This very well could be it.
Okay.
Can you show the Doom tracker again?
Yep, no problem.
Need to add that. There we go. Thank you.
So you guys are kind of standing in your robes outside of this temple, and you see several people in similar garb in the doorway.
So I pull one of the cultists aside or accost them and ask them questions about their cult and act like I'm interested in possibly joining, etc., etc.
Okay, so you will need to make a... let me see. To make it seem like you're believable, it's going to be a society roll, and it's going to be a difficulty 2.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Council works for society and for persuade if you have the sophist talent.
Correct. So you get your successes, and they and they tell you in whispered tones that this is the church of... I gotta bring it up because I can't remember what it sounds like without reading it. Welcome to the church of the many-armed God. He is a wise, powerful, and terrifying lord. They talk about how, they are, to replace the fake gods that have now ruling in the Zangara for the last little while. The many-armed god is the new hottest thing, I guess you can say.
Well, I play along and ask who, and tell them that I was told something about this new and interesting, obviously very powerful god by a great fat man who looks sort of like a merchant by the name of Cordova, and that he asked for us to meet him here and ask him if he's seen such a greasy fat man from Ophir coming this way.
Ah, yes. We've seen many people like that that fit your description, but I have not met... that name does not ring a bell to me. Now, mind you, he matches the description of a gentleman named Safahar. Safahar.
Well, where did Safaher go? And is it permitted for non-initiates to enter the temple?
No, it is. You guys, please, yes, please come in. We can arrange a meeting with the high priest if you wish. There's many places. We have people who live here, and Safarhar has a room in the lower or in the chapel here.
Well, I prefer to confer with Safaher before we meet the high priest.
So he agrees to. Well, we did see him come in here. We will take you to his chambers.
Thank you. I follow along.
Is anyone else like to do anything? You see Gaius starting to walk into the chapel.
Yeah, I'll stroll behind them.
And I will dismount and tie off my horse at one of the pillars or someplace. I'm sure there's some place to tie off horses, and I will also follow.
Okay, so they lead you to a down like this into this chamber. It has various doors and stuff, and they say at the end of this hallway there's a room, and that room is Safarhar's room. We saw him come in here probably about an hour ago now, so just feel free to go on down. They're pretty easy going. Like for this new cult, they don't seem to be too creepy out front.
What about inside? What's the atmosphere inside of the temple?
It's very dark. There is a lot of paintings of
this many-armed god.
You don't see any armed guards at all.
No, I'm sorry, the many-armed god.
Many armed gods. Yeah, you see lots of statues of a great warrior, and that's what it looks like, and he's bare-chested. He doesn't have any armor, but he's I kind of think of like a Greece statue, a Grecian statue, but or like Atlas, you know what I mean, like that type of a statue, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just having two arms, he has multiple arms, and in some of the statues, he's holding up like these enemies, a giant snake, and there's another one where there's a statue of him battling this other mighty creature, and he's kind of got his arms like it looks like a lion that he's fighting, and he's got several arms pulling the maw apart, and he looks very heroic in all these particular visions, setups, right? Oh, did I lose you? You still there?
Nope, I'm here. Yeah, I'm just contemplating that. And you said there's no signs of any of the cultists, for example. We don't see like the flash of steel or anything hidden in robes.
Make an observation check. D1. So you can gain a point of momentum.
And I'll use that momentum to get more information. Basically, trying to find out if everyone is armed, or if there's just like select few acolytes that might be armed. How heavily armed? Is it just ceremonial daggers, or are there actually people with? Do I hear like the kink of armor, that kind of thing?
You don't see. You see, some of them have these like sacrificial looking like daggers, very long curved daggers. Occasionally you saw one of the members wear like what could have easily been like a chainmail type of garment underneath the robes, like a kind of a brief look at something.
Yep.
But what strikes you the most is that there is a very strong perfume scented smell inside the chambers from the incense, but underneath that is almost like it's masking the smell of decay.
Huh. Okay. Almost like using sage to cover the smell of rotten bodies.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I just, low voices were walking down the hall towards Sephihar's place. I'll say something like, just mind yourself.
We all know Nemedian, right?
Not Warren.
Oh. Do we all know Aquilonian?
No, he's kind of at a disadvantage. I mean, I know enough based on... Do you have linguistics, guys?
I do. I think I have 2.
Okay, so I was just looking up that talent. As long as you have 1 skill or more, 1 expertise or more in that skill, you can basically understand and have a basic working knowledge of all languages. So between you and I, we can converse relatively freely with Warren.
I lied. I only have 1 point in it, but do have a point.
Yep, that's all you need. That's all you need.
I don't have any linguistics
Well,
points.
I mutter in the median about the works of Set and how they're everywhere and full of deceit and et cetera, et cetera. So, I propose that we go bang on Sephihar's door and figure out whether he's Cordova or not.
All right. Well, you go down to the door. There's various people in the background, kind of hushed whispers, and there's people, they seem to be ignoring you for the most part. But they're all going, their own directions.
I'll slam a mailed glove against the door twice.
So, thud, thud, thud. You hear this large cracking door open. Or this thudding, the sound reverberates right down through the hallways. And the door actually opens.
Oh,
Who's standing in the other side of the door?
So much for stealth.
It was never a thing.
No.
Yeah, the armor I wear chinks every time I take a step, so I'm not stealthing anywhere. It's
when the door opens up just a crack after you bang it and you slam your mail glove against it. The smell, a very pungent, disgusting smell, reeks and pulls its way out. Or pours, kind of flows out through the doorway. The smell of decay, for sure. Really strong.
I pull part of my hood over my nose to try and spare my delicate senses.
I smile and lick my lips.
He who's covered in blood says.
It's my blood, so that's different.
That's true. You don't cause wounds on anybody.
No, they run away or commit suicide or whatever. So I look in and scan to see if there's anybody inside the room.
You see a small room, probably about 30 by 30 feet. It's a fairly simple Spartan room, but it has like a bed in there. It has a couple of shelves, a couple of desks, a wash basin, that type of thing. But the place is in complete disarray, and you can see over by the wasp station, that area, you see like a crumpled pile of clothing.
I go examine the clothing, poking at it with my staff.
Okay, so let me see here.
I'm going to stay in the doorway and turn around and look down the hall, basically covering our 6.
I just seem to be having some technical computer issues here at the moment. Just 1 second. So, Gaius, you walk on in, and the smell is obviously coming from this complete pile of what looks like clothing. And when you poke it with your staff, it doesn't seem like clothing at all. It seems like more like a leathery, slippery type of material. So, it doesn't look like clothing. You may need to look at it a little bit closer to.
Well, I look at it closer and prod it further with my stick.
It's covered in some sort of slime, and when you prod it with the stick, the smell of decay comes up even more. And when this particular time, when you prod it with a stick, it kind of falls off the mound, and is not clothing at all. It's not an article of clothing. It seems to be it looks almost like a flayed face.
Is it a fat face?
It's hard to tell because there's no fat underneath the skin, but you see the definite eye holes, the nose, and the mouth. And when it falls over to the side, it does have features similar to Cordova.
Does it have any clothing on, or was it totally stripped and then skinned, or is that stuff nearby, or what?
You can see that this area has been lived in for quite a while, but there's clothing there that was actually being worn by him down at the docks earlier today.
So I found his characteristic blue turban.
Yes, you did.
Okay. And so I look for the pouch of gems, because that's all I really care about is the money. Been obtained, at least as to him, by somebody else.
Well, you make an observation roll, difficulty 1.
Okay. Did we have momentum?
No, he used the momentum, so there's no momentum.
Very well. Well, that's no good.
I will take the doom. You don't see any bag of jewels or anything like that at all in the room.
I call to the others that Cordova is here, but he also isn't here. And I need help looking for the items that we want from him.
Okay, I'll step into the room, readying my two-handed sword and looking around, using observation.
All right, I'm going to get you to make a roll as well. Difficulty 1.
Yay!
Okay, so Fire Dragon, as you walk into the room, and you're looking around, you can see that there is various. It seems like underneath the bed, you can see like an arm hanging out, kind of like it's like the tips of a hand.
Okay. All right.
Nice
What kind of bed is it? Is it just a little cot or something like
It's
that?
just like a little small cot that has like a bed sheet and everything on it, right?
Okay, I'll go over and throw back the cot.
All right, so you throw back the cot. Now, you will need to make a fear check. It's a difficulty 1 fear check.
Okay.
So it's going to be based on your discipline.
All right. My discipline is 1. So do I change the modifier for that?
It's up to you if you want to buy more dice or not.
I'll buy 1 doom.
All right, so double click on your doom button there on your character sheet. There you go.
Okay. And then I add 1 to my modifier.
Put 1 in your modifier, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so it was a difficulty 1, so you managed to pass. But you got a complication, so I'm going to keep gathering the doom.
Okay.
Ooh,
What does the
that's
focus
never a
do?
good sign.
So when you pull back,
What does the focus do?
the focus is your if you roll that number or less,
Okay.
then you would actually get extra successes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. So you when you pull back the bed, you see that there is several limbs that's been cut off and kind of laid underneath the bed. But underneath the bed, there is seems to be a trap door.
Okay.
Looking down the hall, is there anybody really paying attention to us at all?
No one's paying any attention to you guys at all.
Then I'm going to step inside, shut the door, and
Bar it.
get involved with the investigation here.
Okay.
Can you bar that door? Is it bar?
Oh yeah, you can easily put the cot up against the door and bar it pretty good.
Okay, well I work on doing that while they look, since obviously they find stuff, and I'm just kind of there's blood everywhere.
All right. I want to look over the trap door.
Yep.
I think using my survival, I'm able to have a little bit of hazards and stuff for like setting traps or looking for traps and things like that.
Let me see.
And I'm going to go over to the pile of skin just to kind of poke at it and kind of separate it out using the butt of my spear.
That, I believe, was our Ophirian. I did not see his pouch that he stole.
It's piled up in such a way it's the same. The way it's piled onto the floor is like someone walked into the room, took off a pair of pants, took off the sweater, took off a shirt, took off their hat, and just threw it right onto the floor.
Yep. But it is bloody skin. It's like someone's wearing this.
Yes, and it's kind of got that kind of a filmy, slippery type of texture to it.
Yeah.
That has, kind of a gooey substance to it,
Well, Seth's works. My goodness.
Now, back to Fire Dragon. I'm going to get you to make a difficulty 1.
Okay.
Survival roll.
Yeah, because it also says through harsh environments and crumbling ruins, you might find tracks and different things as well.
Yep.
So
You see obvious signs that something went down into this hatch.
All right. Well, I'm going to pull back the hatch.
You're going to pull back. All right, so you open up the hatch, and you see a ladder that seems to go down several, probably 10, 15 feet to a level down below you.
Is there any light?
There is light. Yep.
Ah, good. I was going to light a torch.
Burn this place down.
Not yet. Not yet.
Holy fire of Mitra.
The many-armed god likes to choke snakes, so I can't be too angry at it yet.
Well, let's head down this way, guys. I'm going to start making my way down the ladder.
I go ahead and follow.
And then I'll follow behind.
All right. So you guys go down the ladder, and it opens up into a large open chamber, and it seems to be very has a lot of depth. It goes down into the darkness, and this large opening has a large stairway that kind of goes around each side and descends further down underneath this temple. Like whatever is here, like this thing is, there's this chamber that's been here for quite some time. Let me bring it up. Images. And there's like the stairs that lead down the side that kind of crisscross back and forth, and you see a lot of strange markings and hydroglyphs that are against the sides.
Do we see more images of that many-armed god on these etchings?
You do, but they don't look as friendly or as human as they did up above.
They look a bit more sinister.
Yes. A little bit more sinister is a good way of putting that.
It might be like a centipede.
Do I know anything about this god? This more sinister version?
I'm going to make you roll a difficulty 4 lore check.
Okay.
Because he's relatively new. You've never really heard of him before.
So it's not letting me spend a doom point. How do I do that?
You got to put a 1 in there for the first time. It won't start from 0. There you go.
Got it.
So you're spending 3 doom, are you?
No, just 2.
Just 2? Okay, yep.
Well, that's lame.
You are not familiar with this other than what you were told from the guys upstairs.
We should burn it all down.
But Fire Dragon, you can see the tracks, sludgy, slimy tracks going down the steps. They seem to go all the way down to the bottom, based on what you can see.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have a bow?
No.
I have a sling, but I'm not good with it.
Okay. I have a skill in stealth, so I can sneak ahead a little bit for a bit of a recon if you guys want me to.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I'll sit right here and recite psalms to myself.
All right. Well, I'm going to pull out my bow and do a little recce further down the steps to see if I can track these tracks further.
Okay, so you're going to try to do this stealthy.
That's correct, yeah.
So, because I was going to say it was a difficulty 2.
Okay.
But because it's kind of dimly lit with the candles and stuff like that, and there's lots of shadows around, I'm going to lower it down to a difficulty 1.
Okay. And my stealth is a 2 and 2.
So do you want to spend any doom to get extra dice?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. So you need to get at least one success.
Nicely done.
All right.
The music kind of went along with it that time. So you got a success with 1 momentum.
Okay.
Did you want to put that momentum in the pool, or do you want to use it for something extra?
I'm going to add it to the pool.
So you're able to go down several more flights of these steps, and you come to the bottom landing of this area, and you can see a light coming through another passageway to the north. So you kind of landed on the south side. To the north side, there is a doorway, and you can hear and see a light, and you can hear chanting coming from down there.
Okay. So how far away is it?
Probably about 30, 40 feet.
Okay, I want to get a little closer.
All right, so you're able to get yourself right to the doorway where the chanting is taking place.
Okay. And what do I see?
You see in another chamber, which is fairly large and open, roughly 50, 60 feet. In the center of a room, you see a diocese. And standing at this diocese, you see this individual.
The music is a nice touch, I have to say. Oh, there we go.
Skeletor. Whoa.
And there's he's in very ornate garb, and he is standing on this diocese, and it looks to be, and around this diocese you see several large gems, probably about the size of a softball each.
Wow.
Those are our gems.
So I'm the only person that can see this at this time, I guess.
Yes, that's correct.
And has it actually got like flames or some sort of smoke coming?
You see some glowing from the gems.
Okay.
And there's a guy. That guy is obviously they're chanting. He looks kind of grotesque. He looks kind of haggard and withered.
And he's only got 2 arms.
He only has 2 arms, but he is uttering some sort of passage, some sort of phrase, and he is saying over. Rise, Zuga, rise and claim your rightful place on this earth.
Wow. So are the in the picture there's other?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay, so it's only Buddy in the room that I can see?
That you can see right now, yep.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to take a wild shot and just loose the arrow into this guy.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so hold on now. Let me bring this up.
Let's have some fun. So the boys can see me. I'm at the bottom of the steps, right?
You're at the bottom of the chamber. The guys are up above. And before you continue to do anything, before you do anything there, Sean, what about Gaius and Aractus? What are you guys going to do?
Well, I'm intensely curious about this. Do I hear the chanting, or is only he can hear it?
Only he can hear it because it's kind of...
Well, I get a torch ready because I'm trying to adopt the fire of Mitra as a weapon. So,
so let me bring up
All I
Oh,
can
where is
see
it?
is big gems. My retirement is in front of me. The thief in me is going, time to retire.
So I gotta go to encounters, go to the temple, go to add them to there. A whole bunch of errors. Whoop. Change that to 0. So we will put him there. I'm going to put Warren there. Hold on, now I got to do one more thing.
Oh, wow.
Yummy.
All right, so you see him down the hallway. You can see, Fire Dragon kind of starting to prepare his bow and getting ready to fire. Aractus, what are you wanting to do?
Well, seeing that he's been stealthy, I'm probably going to try to stay back just a little bit, but I might give out a... because I haven't seen what he's seen.
Yep.
I'll just kind of go like, to try to get his attention, and just hold up a palm, trying to steady him a moment.
All right, Gaius, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna walk down towards him. What the hell is he shooting an arrow at?
Okay, so the chanting is getting louder, and he seems to be just about to get to a crescendo of his speaking, and Fire Dragon is going to fire.
Woohoo!
Right.
So I just need to look at... I'm going to let you have a surprise on this one.
Okay.
So one thing I need to know is surprise.
It counts as exploitation, right?
Yeah, there's...
I think. I don't know. I'm not 100%
You
sure.
get a free
Round.
not so much a free round, but you get a free exploitation action.
Yeah.
So
If I'm not mistaken, surprise is normally it's like an ambush, right? I think it's a struggle. Your stealth against their observation.
That is correct. That's what it's going to be.
And then I would think because he's in the middle of a chance, he's probably got some detriment, his difficulty might go up a little bit.
Correct. Maybe.
He's looking right at that eyeball. Mesmerized by its swirling depths.
So I'm just... It's ambush. I was reading the rule today specifically for this particular case, and you think I can find it again? No. There it is, 108. There it is, page 108. So there is going to be under Moke, it's the his stealth, your stealth versus his observation. So it's going to be a difficulty one for you. And his observation, let's see here.
Gem time. One each, guys. 3 big gems.
Okay, so this is going to be a struggle, Sean. If this works, then you'll get the upper hand. So you have to tell me how many dice you want to spend. You want to roll.
I'll roll 3 dice, so I got to spend a doom.
You got to spend 3 doom. Yep.
Oh, 3 doom.
No, he wants 1 extra dice.
Oh, 1 extra dice?
Yeah.
All right, so just spend the 1 doom. So double click on that. I'll take the doom. So you roll your stealth roll now with a +1 in the modifier.
Okay.
He is going to obviously try to resist. So you have 2 successes. So I am going to spend 1, 2, 3 doom, and I'm going to roll 5 dice total. He has a difficulty of 2. So let me see here.
It's a tie.
It's a tie,
Okay.
which means I am going to spend the doom to break it because ties go to me.
No, ties go to us normally, but
Yeah, tie
Yes.
goes to the player unless the doom is spent.
Yeah.
Wow.
oh, don't feel bad. He does that all the time.
Yeah, it's nothing special, dude.
All right.
So if the group attempting surprise fails at the struggle, the winner may choose to add 2 points of doom or spend 1 fortune point for the whole group to gain the benefits of the surprise instead.
Ooh.
All right, I'll use a fortune point.
No. That's for me because where I won.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to spend. I got all this doom now. I went from 9 up to 20. I'm going to use it all. I'm going to take the attempts of the surprise instead.
Okay.
So this allows me. I pretty much get a free round of combat
All right.
that you guys can't react to. So let me bring this up here.
How come I can't move this map around?
Use the little square in the bottom right-hand corner of the picture.
No, but I can't like move the whole map around on my tabletop.
Oh.
You got to click up on the top where you see like the bar, like the gray bar, just under. You know where it says portal map?
No, it doesn't say it. It's kind of like it doesn't even say portal map. It's blanked out. Hold on, now I'll close it, and I'll go to images and open it again. Portal map. Okay, now it's back properly. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. So in order to take advantage of this, before the nemesis would have been probably killed in the first shot by a very sneaky barbarian. The person who you think is Safar finishes a mighty chant, and suddenly the ground starts to move and tremble, and coming up from this diocese, you see this image. Now picture this image on its side. Several arms, large arms, start to reach its way out through this portal.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
That is so cool.
Along this portal, as this thing is reaching up through and the arms are starting to claw its way up, several other what appears to be tentacles shoot out and spread along the room, and you see 3 of these large groups of tentacles also arrive. And these are all connected to the portal.
Oh,
We arrived just in time.
Looks like we arrived too late.
gross.
And at the same time, this is going on. Those gems are really starting to glow and pulsate in different sounds.
Okay.
So I'm just going to make this a little smaller here and go there.
I love that picture of the God of Many Arms.
Isn't that kind of cool?
That is really cool.
Well, it's gonna have less arms soon.
So I will now show all these on the map.
Woo!
Wow.
So that was going to be my turn. There's no other actions, no other surprises, no nothing. They pretty much got to arrive for free because of the stealth.
All right.
Failed instead. So that was round 1, which means the momentum goes down. And it is now your guys' turn. You guys can now come in from the map, and you guys can arrive anywhere, anywhere up from this side here. Oh, from there.
So since I got the bow already, can I let loose an arrow?
You certainly can. What would you like to?
Well, I'm going
First
to-
of all, before you do that, you need to make a fear check
Oh, okay.
against the many-armed god.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, you've been forgetting those.
I have been. I won't be forgetting this time.
so
it-
resistance, right?
It's a difficulty 3.
Okay.
So
I'm
it
gonna-
means you need to get 3 successes.
Okay, I'm gonna use 2 doom,
Okay.
and that way I could have 4. I guess it'd be
4 total. Yep.
4 in total. So my modifier 2.
Oh, look at you.
Look at that.
So you actually get 2 momentum.
All right.
Is it a resistance roll or a discipline?
It's a discipline roll.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Sean. You got to roll, put a 2 back in that modifier, and you got to roll your discipline.
Oh, I rolled resistance. Sorry.
Because it's fear, yeah.
Sorry about that. So discipline.
Still good.
But there's one complication.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the 2 doom back, and you got 1 momentum to spend. So on your character sheet, Sean,
Yeah.
you see where it says I momentum.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just changed that to a 1 for you.
Oh, okay.
So you have 1 momentum in the pool. What would you like to do? You were going to shoot, right?
Yeah. Is it any advantage to use it when I shoot right now? Can I
Right
use
back.
You can very well, yeah. Who are you going to shoot at?
I am going to shoot at this guy here. I don't know how you. Up here it says target mode.
Just mouse over top of the target and
Okay.
read out the number.
The Zugooth number 1.
Okay, down here.
Minion number 1.
Minion number 1. Okay. So you have a bow that has a close range. So it would normally be. It's going to be a difficulty 2.
Okay. And I'm using the momentum I have.
Okay, so you're going to spend your momentum. So click on that I1,
Okay.
I momentum. There you go. And you can roll 3 dice total.
So add 1 to the modifier.
Add 1 to your modifier.
All right. And here we go. Ranged weapons.
That's it.
And another
All right,
complication.
so you hit. I'm going to get you to roll your damage.
Okay. There you go.
So 5 damage total. You have nothing to use for piercing to make it pierce its armor. All right, so in this, you see an arrow hit the slithering mass, but it doesn't seem to do anything to it. But you rolled a 20. Your string on your bow cracks, breaks.
All right. Well, I just dropped the bow and ready my 2-handed sword.
All right, no problem. So who wants to go next?
I'll go ahead and go. I step forward and lift my staff in one hand and a burning torch in the other, and I recite the banishment of Mitra to the closest minion.
There you go.
So I guess minions of Zugo 4. So is that 4 minions? Is that mob?
No, that's a mob. So they all have 5. That's the one. What's going on here?
One of them lost their number.
One of them lost their number. I got 4 in my combat tracker, but only 3 on the map.
Oh, yeah, we only see 3.
Yeah, there's only 3.
Yeah, I'll fix
Is
that.
there another one in the lower quadrant?
Yeah.
They're just a little mob.
Maybe he hasn't come out of the hole yet.
It's got performance anxiety.
So I'm going to make my attack check.
Okay, first, hold on.
Oh.
This thing has a fear check. I'm pretty sure. Or does it? You need to make a fear 3.
Well, we all need to do it for the
Yes.
arm god anyway, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So it's a fear 3, yeah. So
There
you
you
have
go.
you have 1 momentum.
Nicely done.
So
And
now
I'm
you're
going
going
to take that momentum and add it to the council check. So I'm going to do a -1 modifier on it and roll the council again.
You want to add to it, not subtract from it, right?
Right. So that gives me 4 successes.
Nice.
And the damage is... Where are you at? So...
Steely glare.
So I've got 2 momentum. I got 2 momentum from attacks. I'm going to use 1 to re-roll the 2 dice that turned up 3s.
Okay, yep.
So it's looks like 3 effects and 7 damage. And then the other momentum I'll leave in the pool for Aractus.
All right, so there's one in the pool, right?
Right.
So you done a total of how much damage?
7.
Looks like 7 and a stun.
Fun.
So you've done 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't see any of them go down. You don't see any of the tentacles kind of be shocked by your blessing.
Okay, so I go home. I've done what I can do. So bye.
Yeah, it says they're unaffected by fear.
They are inured to fear.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I go home then because I don't have any other way to do anything.
Well, does that mean that they don't take resolve
No,
damage?
they still take damage. They just don't get affected by the. They can still be scared. You know, they can still be taken out by traumas. They just don't get stunned. They don't get the effects of it, right?
Yep.
So you put 4 points of damage onto one of them.
Oh, I used the other momentum for piercing.
And you take one of them down.
There we go.
So I'm going to put how many are left in 4 minions of Zergo.
Oh, so there's 5 in each group, is it?
There's 5 in each group, yep.
Wow.
All right, so Aractus, what are you going to do?